The end of the Brown family was never going to be clean. It was always going to be a fight. But I never expected the fight to be this dirty. We are finally at the sale of Coyote Pass. This should be the last financial string cutting them apart. It should be a simple transaction. They got an offer. The money is real. They are going to close soon. But Kody Brown had one last move to make. A move so shocking, it exposes everything. It was a move aimed directly at Meri Brown. It wasn't just about the money. It was about silence. Kody and Robyn, according to Meri, tried to force her into a trap to control her voice forever. Meri stood her ground, and what she reveals is chilling. This wasn't a divorce. It was an escape. The document Meri exposes isn't about land, it's about power. We all watched them fight over these parcels of land for years. The land was the dream. Then the land became the prison. Now the land is the final battleground. The family is shattered. Christine is gone. Janelle is gone. Meri is gone. All that's left is to divide the assets. But Kody Brown doesn't let go that easily. We see a clip of Meri looking tired but determined. She's explaining why the sale of the land, which everyone wanted, was delayed. Kody, of course, was pointing his finger. Meri says he's putting the whole thing on me, that I slowed it down, that I'm the problem. This is a classic Kody move. Blame the wife who is finally standing up for herself. But Meri isn't taking the blame this time. She reveals the truth, and it's a bombshell. But it had to do with the fact that they were trying to get me to sign a confidentiality agreement, Meri says. A confidentiality agreement. An NDA. She says it was one that she was not willing to agree to. My jaw dropped. This is a land sale. The details of a land sale are public record. You can go to the county website and see the price. You can see who signed. So what exactly did this NDA cover? Kody's real fear isn't losing money, it's Meri's voice. Meri asks the exact question that was screaming in my mind. She looks right into the camera. She asks, "Why do you want me to sign a confidentiality agreement?" Her face is a mix of anger and genuine confusion. This isn't business. This is personal. This is a threat. She continues, her voice getting stronger. "Why are you trying to silence me?" And there it is. The real currency in the Brown family was never money. It was loyalty. And loyalty to Kody always meant silence. It meant sitting down and shutting up. It meant taking his side, no matter what. It meant protecting his image and, by extension, Robyn's image. Meri was the first wife. She was the loyal wife for decades. She stayed through everything. The catfish, the divorce, the neglect, the humiliation. She stayed silent for years. But now, she is leaving. And as she walks out the door, Kody is making one last attempt to gag her. He is trying to buy her silence with her own money. He is holding her share of Coyote Pass hostage. Hostage in exchange for her voice. This changes the entire context of the sale. This isn't a negotiation between former partners. This is an act of desperation from a man who is terrified of what his first wife might say. This wasn't a request. It was an ultimatum. Think about the pressure Meri was under. Janelle was worried about losing the buyer. Janelle was pushing. Meri says Janelle is pushing her to either comply complete with what Kody's wishes were or force the sale. So Meri is being squeezed from both sides. Janelle, who is also desperate to get her money and be free, is putting pressure on Meri, and Kody is holding the entire deal up, using Janelle's panic as a weapon. He is isolating Meri. He is making her the problem. The problem is that she won't be silenced. The problem is that she won't sign a document that has nothing to do with land. A document that has everything to do with controlling the narrative. What is Kody so afraid of? What does Meri know that he is so desperate to keep hidden? She was the legal wife. She was there from the beginning. She saw every deal. She saw the move to Flagstaff. She saw the rise of Robyn. She saw the money drain. She saw it all, and Kody knows it. This confidentiality agreement wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a cage. And Meri Brown was finally done with cages. She refused to sign. This single act of defiance cost her. It cost her peace. It cost her time. It dragged out the fight. But Meri had clearly decided her voice was not for sale. The fight over the land was just a cover. The real fight was over the truth. This demand for silence didn't come from nowhere. It's a pattern. It is the pattern. To understand the NDA, you have to understand Kody's definition of family. You have to understand what Coyote Pass always represented. It was never just land. It was leverage. Remember the presentations? The 5 plots, one for each wife and one for Kody. The fantasy of the big family home? It was all a performance. The land was supposed to be the glue that held them in Flagstaff. It was the shared dream that forced them to stay. But for Kody, it was always a shared debt. It was the one thing he held over all of them. As long as they were all tied up in this land, no one was truly free, especially not financially. The land became a financial prison. And as the wives started to leave, Coyote Pass became Kody's last piece of power. It was the last thing he could use to control them. The last thing he could hold hostage. Christine left and got her money. She fought for it, and she won. Now it's Chanel and Meri's turn. And Kody is clearly furious that he's losing his grip. He's losing his assets. He's losing his kingdom. Kody's next confessional isn't just a slip-up. It's the entire truth. Kody gives us the answer himself. He gives it away in a confessional, and it is absolutely damning. He is angry. He is frustrated. But he's not frustrated that his family is falling apart. He is frustrated that he can't manage them. He says it. And this is why I was a terrible polygamist, Kody says, leaning forward. He's agitated, waving his hands. He's talking about his wives who will no longer obey, whose I can just sit down and shut up. I couldn't ever do that. He's mocking them. Or is he mocking himself? He continues, I couldn't ever just do that with these wives and just manage it. Let's stop right there. Manage it, not love them, not lead them, not partner with them. Manage like assets, like employees, like children. He then says, in Kody's eyes, a good polygamist is a man that tells a wife to sit down and shut up. My blood runs cold. He is saying this out loud. He is admitting on camera that his entire goal as a good polygamist should have been to force his wives into silence. He's lamenting that he failed to do that. He is angry that he could never do that. This one statement reframes every single fight we have ever watched. Every time he demanded loyalty. Every time he demanded respect. He wasn't asking for love or partnership. He was demanding obedience. He was demanding silence. The NDA is Kody's final attempt to be the good polygamist he always wanted to be. Now, look back at Meri and the confidentiality agreement. Do you see it? The NDA is the legal version of sit down and shut up. He couldn't ever just do that when they were married. So he is trying to do it now, with lawyers. He is trying to force her to be the good wife he always wanted. A silent wife. A managed wife. He is trying to legally bind her to the silence he could never enforce emotionally. This isn't just about the sale of Coyote Pass. It's about the sale of Meri's story. It's Kody's last, desperate attempt to control the narrative. He knows Meri was the legal wife. He knows she was there for 30 years. He knows what she saw. And he's terrified. He's not just a terrible polygamist. He is a man who is terrified of the truth. A truth he can no longer manage. So he tried to use money. He tried to use Janelle's desperation for the sale as a weapon against Meri. He tried to isolate her and make her the problem. All to get her signature on a piece of paper that had nothing to do with land and everything to do with control. But it gets worse. Kody's rant isn't over. He was just getting warmed up. He doesn't just admit his philosophy. He admits his plan. Kody literally admits he was going to steal the land from his wives. Kody admits, I got in this place where I was like, backdoor deal almost with Janelle, a backdoor deal. He's saying this to a producer with a camera on his face. A backdoor deal. his plan? Hey, we'll just sell it out from under these other two. These other two, he means Meri, and he means Robyn. Wait, what? Kody says he got to a point where he was going to just sell this out from underneath them. He wanted to screw them over. He's not hiding it. He's proud of it. His rage is so complete. He has lost all self-awareness. He just admitted point blank that he was actively planning to steal the land, to sell it out from under his wives, to take their money. And then he says, 'cause Robyn was like, we're not going to mess them over. Kody looks disgusted. He mocks her. Like, no, we should mess them over. He is openly stating that he wanted to mess them over. He wanted to screw them, his word. Not mine, screw them. This is the man who demanded loyalty. This is the man who demanded respect. This is the man who cried about his family falling apart. And he just admitted he tried to execute a backdoor deal to screw them out of their money. This is the context for the NDA. This is the man Meri was dealing with. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a war. This is the moment the family unit truly dies. It's not just a divorce. It's Kody actively trying to burn everything down. Let's dissect this backdoor deal. Kody says it was almost a deal. He says it was with Janelle. He planned to sell the land out from under these other two. He meant Meri, and he meant Robyn. This is the breaking point. Kody's mask is completely off. He is no longer a husband. He is an opponent. He is a man who is willing to destroy the financial futures of his wives. Wives who worked for him. Wives who raised his children. Wives who funded this entire life. He was going to screw them over, his words. And Janelle, what is her role here? According to Kody, she was the potential partner in this backdoor deal. But according to Meri, Janelle was just desperate. Meri says Janelle was worried about losing the buyer. This is a classic control tactic. Kody creates a high-pressure situation. A buyer is on the line. Money is at stake. Then he isolates one person. He turns the other wives against her. Janelle, worried about her money, starts pushing Meri. Meri says Janelle is pushing her to comply complete with what Kody's wishes were or force the sale. Comply. Comply with what? Comply with the NDA. Janelle is being used as Kody's weapon. She is so focused on the money, so focused on getting out, that she is willing to pressure Meri to sign a confidentiality agreement. She is pressuring Meri to silence herself. Think about that. Janelle, who also wants to be free. Janelle, who also has her own stories to tell. She is caught in Kody's trap. She is now doing Kody's dirty work for him. She is turning on Meri. This is the divide and conquer strategy, and it's working perfectly. The wives are no longer a team. They are individuals scrambling for their own lifeboats. And Kody is the one setting the ship on fire, and Janelle seems to confirm Kody's power. We hear Janelle talking about the sale. She says, Kody said, well, I could sell it without Meri's consent. She sounds defeated. She says, I'm like, well, you could, but he could sell it. Like, I mean, he could have forced the sale on everything. She believed him. She believed he had the power to sell the land out from under them. This is the fear Kody was operating on. He had convinced Janelle that he held all the cards, that he could just force the sale. So Janelle's panic was real. Her pressure on Meri was real. Meri was cornered. She was being told by Janelle that Kody could just take it. And she was being told by Kody that she had to sign an NDA to get her own money. This is not a family. This is a hostage situation. And what is Kody's reaction to all this chaos? This pain, this fear he is causing? He's angry. But he's not angry at the situation. He's angry that it's this hard. He is angry that he has to resort to these tactics. He is angry that his wives won't just obey. Kody's true anger is at his own lack of control. We hear him again, complaining. I couldn't ever just do that with these wives and just manage it. He's frustrated that he can't just tell a wife to sit down and shut up. He is annoyed that he can't just manage the situation. He is annoyed that Meri is fighting back. He is annoyed that she got a lawyer. He is annoyed that she won't just sign the NDA. He is annoyed that she won't just let him screw them over. His rage is the rage of a king who has been told no. He has no empathy. He has no sadness. He has no regret. He just has anger. Anger that his power is gone. Anger that his wives have found their voices. Anger that his backdoor deal isn't going to work. And why isn't it going to work? Kody gives us the answer. He tells us who stopped him. It wasn't his conscience. It wasn't Janelle. It wasn't Meri's lawyer. According to Kody, one person stood in his way, because Robyn was like, we are not going to mess them over. This is the moment Robyn enters the battlefield, and her story is not what you think. Kody just set the stage. He wanted to be the villain. He wanted to steal the money. But Robyn stopped him. Robyn, the sweet wife. Robyn, the loyal wife. She was the one who said no. At least, that's Kody's story. He paints himself as the monster and Robyn as the saint. He looks disgusted as he says it. He wanted to mess them over, but Robyn wouldn't let him. But is that what really happened? We see a clip of Robyn, and her story is very different. Her face is set. She is ready to give her version of events. And in her version, she isn't just the hero. She is the martyr. So Kody frames Robyn as the hero. He paints himself as the monster who wanted to screw them over. And he claims Robyn was the one who stopped him. Now we see Robyn's confessional. She is ready to tell her side. And she says, sorry, I'll be the big fat rock in the way. Her face is set. She's positioning herself as the family conscience. I'm not selling this land until everything is perfectly fair and we do this the right way. Perfectly fair, the right way. This is Robyn's narrative. She is the martyr. She is the only one willing to be the rock to ensure fairness. She is the one protecting Meri from Kody. It sounds so noble. It sounds so compassionate. She's the one who looked at Kody and said, "Who are you?" She's the one who reminded him to be a better man. She's the hero of the story. But is she? Robyn says she's the rock, but the timeline shows she was the dam. Let's look at the facts. The competitor text, based on public records, says Meri signed off on the division in January. Janelle signed in January? Kody signed in January. Who was the last one to sign? Robyn. Robyn didn't sign until March. She waited 2 months. So she was the big fat rock in the way, but she wasn't in the way of Kody being unfair. She was in the way of the sale. She was in the way of Meri and Janelle getting their money. She was the one holding everything up. So my question is, why? If Meri had already agreed to the terms in January, what was Robyn's 2-month delay for? What was she holding out for? What fairness was she fighting for? This delay! This rock, it happened during the exact same time that Meri says she was being pressured to sign an NDA, a confidentiality agreement. Meri didn't say Kody tried to silence her. She said they. Let's go back to Meri's exact words. She doesn't say, Kody was trying to get me to sign. She says, they were trying to get me to sign a confidentiality agreement. They, plural. Who is they? Kody. And Robyn, this shatters Robyn's hero narrative. She wasn't the rock protecting Meri. She was the rock applying the pressure. She was Kody's partner in this. Kody couldn't sell the land without Robyn's signature. She held the final piece of power. So, was this a good cop, bad cop routine? Kody plays the raging monster. I want to screw them all. Robyn plays the gentle saint. Oh, we must be fair, but the demand is the same. The goal is the same. We'll be fair, Meri. Just as soon as you sign this NDA, we'll stop Kody from being unfair. As soon as you give us your voice, we'll give you your own money. As soon as you promise to be silent, this is manipulation. It is cold, it is calculated, and it is a complete betrayal. Kody's "Who are you?" story isn't an argument, it's an alibi. Now, Kody's story about Robyn confronting him makes sense. Who are you? You're the man I met and fell in love with. That whole speech. It sounds like a performance. It sounds like a pre-planned story to give Robyn an alibi. It's damage control. It's Kody and Robyn trying to control the narrative about their attempt to control the narrative. They are building Robyn's hero edit right in front of us. They are making her the one who saved Meri and Janelle, when in reality, she was the one holding the gun. Kody says he wanted to do a backdoor deal with Janelle to cut out Meri and Robyn, but he couldn't cut out Robyn. She was on the deeds. He needed her. The only person he could truly cut out, the only one who was vulnerable, was Meri, and Robyn, as The Rock, was the one who held Meri's financial freedom in her hands for 2 solid months. 2 months of pressure. 2 months of demands. 2 months of trying to force her to sign that NDA. This was a coordinated attack. And the emotional weight of that, for Meri, is devastating. This is the emotional core of the entire story. This is where the financial fight becomes a human tragedy. We see Meri Brown, and the fight is gone from her eyes. She just looks heartbroken. She says, "It breaks my heart that it has come to this." Her voice is quiet. This is the sound of a 30-year history collapsing. This is the final, painful realization that it was all for nothing. The loyalty, the sacrifice, the waiting, the humiliation. She endured it all, holding on to the idea of family. And now, at the very end, that family is trying to destroy her. She says, "I didn't think that these people would try to do this to me." There's that phrase again. These people, not Kody, these people. Meri's next question isn't to the camera, it's to Kody and Robyn. Meri looks down. She looks like she's processing the betrayal in real time. She asks, was there not any parts of us that were human? This is the moment. This is the core of the pain. She is not talking about a business deal. She is talking about humanity. She is looking back on 30 years and asking, did any of it mean anything to you? Was I ever human to you? Or was I just an asset to be managed? Was I just a problem to be silenced? This is the ultimate betrayal. It's not just Kody, the angry, failed patriarch. It is these people, it's Kody and Robyn. Robyn, the Rock who claimed she wanted fairness. Robyn, who held the entire sale up for 2 months. Meri is realizing in this moment that they were working together. It was a coordinated effort. They were ganging up on her. One to rage, one to be fair, both with the same goal: get Meri to sign the NDA, get her to be silent, get her to trade her voice for her own money. This is the person Meri defended for years. This is the person she legally divorced Kody for. And that person was now, in Meri's eyes, part of the team trying to ruin her. That is a different kind of pain. They weren't just kicking her out. They were trying to strip her bare. Let's be perfectly clear about the power dynamic. Meri was not on equal footing. She was fighting for what was legally hers. Her 25%. She wasn't asking for extra. She wasn't trying to screw anyone. She was just trying to get her money and leave. These people, Kody and Robyn, were fighting for something else. They were fighting to take something that wasn't theirs. Something that had no price. Meri's voice. Meri's story. Meri's truth. They were holding her own money hostage to buy her silence. It is an incredible act of cruelty. They had already taken everything else from her. Her husband, her family, her status, her home. She had nothing left except her share of this land. And they were trying to take that too. Or at least make her pay for it with her freedom. This is the humanity Meri is talking about. What kind of human being does this? What kind of family does this? They knew exactly how vulnerable she really was, and these people knew she was vulnerable. They knew, before Robyn finally signed that March document, that Meri's name was barely on any of the property. The clip says, Meri was on 1/3 of one parcel that had 5 acres. Meaning she held like 1/14 of the entire pie here. She had nothing. No legal say on anything else. This is the context for the NDA. They knew she was legally exposed. They knew she had almost no power. They held everything. Kody and Robyn were on almost all the other parcels. They were in the position of power. And from that position of power, they didn't offer grace. They didn't offer a clean break. They offered a threat. Sign the confidentiality agreement, or you get nothing. Comply. or we will screw you over, be a good, silent wife, or we will take it all, and Meri's heartbreak is the realization that this is who they really are. This is the family she gave her entire life to. It was a lie. She was completely, and finally, on her own. But the story doesn't end with Meri's heartbreak. It ends with her strength. This is the final spark, because Meri Brown did not sign the confidentiality agreement. Kody and Robyn's plan failed. These people did not win. Meri says she was not willing to agree to the NDA. This is not the Meri Brown of 10 years ago. This is not the woman who would stay silent to keep the peace. This is the woman who finally hired a lawyer. This is the woman who finally realized that family was not going to protect her. She had to protect herself. She was cornered. She was pressured by Janelle. She was threatened by Kody. She was manipulated by Robyn, and she still said no. She refused to sell her voice. She refused to be managed. She refused to sit down and shut up. She called their bluff. And in doing so, she exposed them for who they truly are. Kody didn't just lose the battle, he lost the war. The sale did eventually go through. The documents show Meri signed in April, just days after the final offer was accepted. She got her money. She got her 25%. She won. She got her freedom, and she kept her voice. But the victory is soaked in the acid of that betrayal. The open wound is the knowledge of what they tried to do. Kody admitted he wanted to screw them over. He admitted he wanted to do a backdoor deal. He admitted his definition of a good husband is one who can tell a wife to sit down and shut up. These are his own words. He cannot take them back. He has confirmed every fear. He has proven that he was not a safe person. He was the monster at the end of the story. Robyn's martyr act is the final, cruel twist. And Robyn, her rock in the way story is shattered by the facts. Her 2-month delay in signing the documents. Her role as the good cop. It's all exposed. Meri's heartbroken question, was there not any parts of us that were human? Lands squarely at Robyn's feet. Robyn, who talks so much about fairness, was, according to Meri, one of these people trying to enforce an NDA, trying to silence another woman, trying to use a legal threat to cover up Kody's behavior. The trust is not just broken. It has been incinerated. There is no going back from this. The land is sold. The money is divided. But this wound will never, ever heal. Kody's attempt to gag Meri proves one thing. He is terrified of her. This entire fight was never about land. It was about the truth. Kody's desperation for that NDA tells you everything you need to know. He is terrified of Meri Brown. He is terrified of what she knows. He is terrified of what she saw as the legal wife for decades. He is terrified of her voice. He tried to buy her silence with her own money, and he failed. Meri is free. She has her money. And she has her story. The NDA is gone. And Meri Brown is finally, truly, allowed to speak. The king is exposed, and he has no one to blame but himself.